super noisy. It's had lots of banging, not the fun kind. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new around these parts, hi, my name is Missa. I'm a 28. Don't know why everyone keeps telling me I always say a different number. I don't. 28-year-old beauty addict from Edinburgh, which is in Scotland. Go follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Twitter, and subscribe now. So I have done my high-end favourites already. I think my drugstore favourites might be up already. If they're not, they're coming. And I thought, oh, I need to do my brush favourites. I think I asked in both of them, do you want to see a brush favourite? So I was like, everyone's gonna say yes. I always get asked what my favourite brushes are, so just gonna dive into it. If you didn't watch my last video, by the way, which was a Q&A, I got a haircut. I got some length off, even though people told me not to. Still very, very long. And I got fringe, which she styled really, really beautifully, and I am poo at doing, so yeah, I need to get used to that. I think I've fannied around enough, and I think we should anyway, I think I've fannied around enough. And if you want to see what my favourite brushes are, face and eyes, then just keep on watching. I have two favourite brushes for powder. One is more for like loose powder or packing on my MAC Studio Fix kind of thing. The other one is for my Revolution Pro Skin Finish or dupes of my skin finish. So for all over powder, I got a cheapie but a cheerfully. I love this brush so much. This is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 2 brush. As you can see, it's very big, very round. I don't want to take off the shine on my face. Very fluffy, very soft, very cheap. I am really enjoying BH Cosmetics brushes. I've got another one in this video as well. Yeah, I do. I feel like you can dust on a very light coating of powder, or you can really pack it on. Today, what am I wearing? Where is it? Yeah, today I'm wearing my Too Faced like Born This Way pressed powder. It's like a powder foundation because it's got a lot of coverage, but I used it as a powder to set my face, and this did such a good job. I feel like I got that little bit of coverage extra but set my face. Also, I really like this brush for wiping off my bake. I bake every single day, every single time. I recommend this brush to everyone. I think everyone needs a good big fluffy fat soft powder brush in their lives. I think it's great. Excellent, you should get it, trust me. The other one is it's a newer discovery. Probably a few months ago I got this. I've actually got 2 other brushes from this in this video because I'm so impressed with them. However, these are on the probably the most expensive brushes I'm going to talk about, even though they're technically drugstore. These are the like Real Techniques. I think it's like Bold Metals is still what they're called. But these are the like really pretty holographic-ish, I guess, color changing pretty ones. Honestly, when I got these, I was just going to declutter them into my like giveaway bin because I thought, they're not going to be that good. They look very gimmicky. I don't like these weird brushes, but they are so good. Honestly, they're excellent. This is the 003. This is kind of a weird brush. I didn't know what to do with it when I decided to keep the set. I was like, oh, what am I going to actually use this for? Powder, oh my goodness. So just like this one, same thing. But what I specifically like it for is putting on my Revolution Pro Skin Finish, which I forgot to put on today. I know, I must be ill. I kind of am. But still, this is great for that because it's much more dense. Like, they're both equally soft. They've probably got about as much bristles as each other. But this one's a bit more dense, a bit more stiff, but very, very soft. Trust me, I would never use like brushes that are stiff and hard. Especially not shaped like this. Sorry, I don't know what's come over me today. But I find that with my skin finish, I want it to give me wham bam, sheen my skin up. So by using this brush, I feel like I get that effect a lot better. However, because it is so pricey, I do often opt for this one when I'm like doing videos, which is stupid because I don't usually like list my brushes. But just in case anyone asks, I usually use like this brush. But definitely prefer this one for my Revolution Pro Skin Finish. Moving on to bronzer, I've got my next BH Cosmetics brush. This is the V3. I think it's the vegan line. Don't quote me, but I feel like V stands for vegan, silver handled. This is cheap as chips. It's £4. It's an angled brush. I think it's a contour brush technically, but we all know you can use brushes for whatever you want. This brush is super soft. It's quite flimsy. I didn't wash any of these brushes, by the way, for this video. It's quite flimsy, quite floppy. Don't know if you can see that. And I think that's why I like it so much, because I feel like with bronzer, especially coming from me, Mrs. Cake Face, I can put on quite striped bronzer. I can just pack on like hoola and I'm like, wow, that's too dark for you. But with this, hold on. With this, I feel like it just really evenly distributes, very softly distributes, and I love it so much. I use it a lot with my Hoola Light when I'm like blending out a deeper bronzer, which is what I talked about in a recent tutorial that I did. But there's another bronzer brush, and it is again from the Real Techniques set, the nice pretty one. This is the 004. This is a contour brush. It is smaller. I'm not sure if it's gonna show. It's a bit smaller and it's a bit more dense. So if I am having a day where I'm putting on two different bronzers, which is what I did today actually, I put on Hoola with this, really in my cheekbones, put on that colour, make my skin a bit more bronzed and sun-kissed, and then I'll use this brush with Hoola Light, blend out the edges. In combination, in conjunction, they are perfect together, but both separately are wonderful. So rude of my camera. It's just a lot more dense. I feel like this could be a really good contour brush. I prefer a more kind of domed or rounded contour brush that I'll show you, but I feel like a lot of you would like this for contouring. For me, bronzing, especially because I've got like just quite small areas of my face that I want to bronze, and this is so small, it fits in those areas like perfectly, and I can't recommend both of those brushes enough. Way more expensive, super, super cheap. Get both, get one. Talking of contour brushes, I'll just talk about this now, it's a nice segue. The Blank Canvas Cosmetics F15. The annoying thing is, I think unless you're in Ireland, you can only get these online. But when I tell you that these are super, super soft, they are. And I'm telling you that. Wow, where's my voice going? I think Blank Canvas brushes are excellent. You will see me use them in a lot of my tutorials. I usually put my brushes now down at the bottom of the screen. I'll often have Blank Canvas brushes listed. I've got another one or two in this video actually. This is, like I said, the F15, it's red. It's a rounded kind of, I say, like tulip shaped brush, and I, again, as Cake Face Melissa, tend to use, where is it? I get filled with so much rage when I can't find the brush I'm looking for. I've used my ABH A23 for contouring a lot in the past. I know it's a highlight brush, but because I like that really like look, I've been using the A23 a lot. However, I started using this recently. I used to use this for highlight actually, and it's just better. It's got a lot more bristles, it's quite floppy, it's very, very soft. I do find that this brush sheds quite badly, which is weird. I don't know why that is. I've actually got two of these. I can't prove it to you because I can't find it. It does shed quite bad, but it's just such a good brush for, see, even there's a hair off it. Shut up! But I feel like whilst it sits in your cheekbone really, really, really well, it's quite big and quite fluffy, that it doesn't give you a line, it diffuses it really nice. Obviously you have to use the brush to diffuse it, but I do like tiny little circular motions sometimes, not just back and forth, and I feel like this brush does it excellently. And a few of you have commented actually on videos where I've done that and said, I love that brush for contouring, so we're on the same team. And if you don't use the same brushes as me, then we're not on the same team. You're probably in Slytherin. Sorry, that was really mean. Oh, nose contouring, I always use the Blank Canvas E42. It's an eyeshadow brush. It's like a tulip shaped. It's just like a tiny mini version of this. For some reason, I've never found the perfect nose contour brush, and I've got brushes from like Morphe and stuff that are specifically for nose contouring, and I feel like I always look terrible, but I'm not that good at nose contouring. However, this brush is excellent. Tiny, soft, does the job. I'm only recommending it because I use it every single day. You've probably got brushes in your collection already that look very similar to this, and so you probably don't need it, but if you do need a good nose contour brush, it is so perfect. Done, you know? Blush is, it's a hard one for me because I love this Morphe brush. This is from the Grandmaster's set. It was limited edition, really annoying. And I love this brush for blush, as you can probably tell. It's great, but it doesn't have a name. This is a 002 and I use it for blush. I think it is a blush brush. I used it today. Just sits so perfectly on your cheek, wherever you want. Oh, I love this brush so much. It's so soft. Every brush from this line I found is so soft. I really, really like them. If you are in the neighborhood of a TK Maxx, they have a lot of the blue, what were they called? I don't remember the name, but the blue brush range that they did, they've got heaps of those in TK Maxx right now, like all of them. They're all like $2.99 to $5.99, so yeah, go check them out. But if you want these brushes, they're great. There's just something about this brush that I feel I think it's because I am someone that likes a really pigmented blush, so this is maybe on a day where I don't want my blush to feature so much and not be like a statement. I'll use this because it's much like fluffier, less dense, it packs on less. Whereas this brush I feel like is more dense, it's a bit more just dense, not hard. It's very soft and fluffy, but very dense, and so I feel like I can pack on my colour more. I quite often like my blush to be more of a statement rather than something that's just there, so that's why I like this so much. Plus I use a lot of shimmery blushes, and so I feel like this picks that up really, really well. Puts it on my face. For highlight, I very recently have been using, just for like the last month, I've been using fan brushes, so I thought I would tell you them. Blank Canvas F88, wonderful, soft, fluffy. I think it's natural hair. It's a great brush. Again, I find it does shed, which is weird, but if you can kind of look past that, because all brushes shed naturally, and sometimes just after the first time you wash them, they will shed. You don't need to be alarmed, it's very normal. But this one kind of continues to shed, but it does put on my highlights so beautifully because it is so soft and so floppy. But I really like the Real Techniques. This is the 404, or just their fan brush. I've been reaching for a fan brush more. I used this today. I'm wearing the Soft Does Nails Makeup Revolution highlighter. Great. And I used this today. I love it so much. But if I'm to be completely honest, the brush I've used all year and loved, but now don't use because of those two, is the Morphe M501. It's a great staple brush. This one is kind of dead, to be honest. I've got another one, but it's from, oh, not fart, my chair. From the Grandmaster set. It's the same thing, just different sets. This one, yeah, it's so scraggledy now. I don't blame it on the brush. I know some people hate Morphe brushes. I love Morphe brushes. I've used this for over 2 years. I just spat on my desk, that's disgusting. I've used it for over 2 years. Great brush, so if you do want it, pick it up. I think it's £7 or £9, definitely worth it. But I think the fan brushes are coming back. I just feel like my cheeks look nicer with a fan brush. If you watch any of my tutorials, you know I use a brush to blend out my primer on my eyelids. Usually a concealer, but I say primer. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. This one's so old, all the writing's rubbed off of it. Just the shape of it is great. It fits on my eyelid. I've got small eyes and it fits perfectly. I feel like it blends out anything, be it the P. Louise base, ABH, what's happening? The ABH primer, Urban Decay, or concealer, which I use 99% of the time. This brush is a must. I could not get rid of this brush. I have about 4 of them. Potentially more. I've got heaps of them. Just trust me, I've definitely got another one. But yeah, it's great. I think it's actually the 402, but it is the setting brush. Great brush, highly recommend. I can't use a sponge on my eyelid to blend out my primer because I've already got my brows done every single time. So this brush, I can just go right underneath my brow, make sure to carve out my eyeshadow primer perfectly. Okay, now the most important part. I feel like, I don't know, maybe not. Face brushes are incredibly important in my life. I have 1, 2, 3, 5 pots now of face brushes. I'm a bit of an addict though. Eyeshadow brushes, I'm going to start with these two. These are I could not live without these brushes. I couldn't live without any of those face brushes, and these are the eyeshadow brushes I can't live without. If all 5 of my brush pots went away, and then if this is one of my eyeshadow brush pots, it's like a huge acrylic thing, if all of these disappeared, I would be okay with what I'm about to show you. We'll start off with one that will be as no surprise if you watch my channel, the Morphe M506. This is a tiny, hold on. This is a tiny little rounded blender brush. Now, I get asked all the time because I think a lot of people that watch me have the kind of same eyes as me. They're quite small, quite hooded, and I do quite big, bold, dramatic looks. And like, how do you do that? Like, what brushes do you use that are so small? M506, oh my goodness, M506. I've got 3, maybe 4, but I've definitely got 3. This one is the least kind of wrecked of them, to be honest. I need to buy more. Sorry, just got an email from Benefit. I need to buy more of these because I will admit, well, no. So I think what the problem is, A, Morphe brushes are cheap. This is £7, and B, I use it a lot. I use it every single day, no matter what I'm doing. I didn't use it today, but that's because I used one eyeshadow. I mean, look at this. What? Who am I? Who am I? But if I'm doing any look that requires blending, I will use this. What I'm trying to say is I feel like you have to wash it with care. I'm quite bad. I spot clean my brushes every single time I use them. I spot clean them, so I usually wash an M506 every single day. I spot clean it with like the Cinema Secrets cleaner. I just decant mine into a spray bottle and then rub it on like a paper towel or my makeup towel. So it's not the best way to look after your brushes. You should wash them very gently and then put them in like a brush guard and let them to set and dry back in the original shape. So mine get quite bad. I can't find a brush though that is comparable to this. So yeah, my advice is buy this brush. You need it. Your life probably depends on it. Your eyeshadow game will be better, especially if you have small eyes, hooded eyes, anything like that. You need this brush, but just wash it with care. Don't do what I do and be quite aggressive with it because it needs a little bit more of a kinder touch. Second brush, also Morphe, M514. Easy pick, so easy. I could have done the look I did today with my M514. This is much bigger. Hold on, I should have kept out to show you. It is a much bigger brush, as you can see. However, it's a brush that doesn't have a lot of substance to it, so it's not very dense. It is pretty floppy. Again, I didn't wash this. It's got that lovely rounded shape. It's quite flippity floppity. That's how I like to describe brushes that I feel blend things to perfection. The M506 is not flippity floppy. This one is, and I love it so much. I remember when I bought it and used it for the first time, I was literally like, holy crap, how have I lived without this brush my whole life? It is excellent. I've got 2 of these now. Could do with 10 more. I want Morphe, send me 10 more of each of these brushes, please. They won't, I don't know why I'm saying that, but that'd be nice. Also, I bought my M506. I bought every single Morphe brush I've ever had, just so you know. But yeah, M514, great, even if you've got small hooded eyes like I do, you still need a good sized blending brush to blend things out. I find, and I've spoken about it before, things like the Sigma E40 are just far too big for my eyes. You can see there's a massive difference in the size of those brushes. The E40 is just far too big for me. I actually use this brush for filling in my hairline when I got my hair back. It's massive, it's too big for my eyes. Literally, I don't know what to do with this brush. I can't use it on my eyes. So I need a good size blending brush, but that isn't so big I can't use it. M514, can't recommend it enough. Okay, moving on. This is, some of you will probably have been watching like, Melissa, where are your Jessup brushes? In the interest of science, and for absolutely no selfish reasons at all, I bought a new set just so I could show you them in all of their glory. It's not like I get to keep them and use them and enjoy them and love them. I discovered these on Amazon about 2016, 2016. One of my friends, Bonnie, she's a makeup artist, and she mentioned these on the beauty group Mrs. Gloss and the Goss. I'm actually not on that group anymore just because I deleted Facebook because I hate Facebook, but she mentioned these, that she uses them and they're really good. And before that, I'd already had and have a lot of Zoeva brushes. That is not Zoeva. My Zoeva brushes. So she recommended these, so I went on Amazon, which is where you buy them, typed in Jessup brushes and bought them. They're less than £15, like just below £15, and you get sets of 15 brushes. I tend to buy the black ones. I think they're the classiest, and that's what I bought again. This time I bought a black set, so they come in a really nice box with a bit of foam covering them. I think if you have any makeup lovers in your life, Secret Santa, that's maybe £15, or anyone that you know that loves makeup, especially in your family, if you're going to put them in a stocking, great stocking stuffer. Comes with this leaflet that I've literally never read, but what these are, in essence, are Zoeva dupes, complete 100% Zoeva knockoffs. And I don't care because A, I use Makeup Revolution all the time, which is just a knockoff brand basically, and B, I like to save money. I love my Zoeva brushes, I'm not going to deny it. I really, really, really like them. However, I can't afford them. I've got one set that I bought when I was clearly feeling very flush, and one set that I was gifted, and I enjoy them and I use them and I love them, but I can't afford them. So in comes Jessup brushes. Let me take them out of all their plastic sleeves. Hold on. £15 for 15 brushes I think is incredible, but £15 for 15 incredible brushes is just mind-blowing. I have put so many of you onto these brushes. Most of you, I would say 98%, have come back and said, I absolutely love them. Thank you so much, and thank you Bonnie, my friend, for telling me about them. They are so, so, so good. They are literally, like I said, Zoeva dupes. So where is it? They've got the 228 Luxe crease. Do you know what I mean? They are exactly the same. I, again, don't mind that. There is a couple of brushes in here I want to talk about specifically. So I do a lot of cut creases, as you know. Cake Face Melissa, Cut Crease Melissa. I can be all of them. The, what's it called? 237 is this tiny, tiny, teeny, 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 tiny little flat brush. Perfect for packing on colour onto your cut crease because it's so small but rounded and flat that you can get really, really precise with it. Like I said, the 228 is great. It's also very, very similar to my M514. It's a bit longer, but it's not very, very fat. So I find that I can get really, really good detailed work, but it's still fluffy that it blends things out. I can't possibly, oh, I just keep dropping everything. I actually dropped a Zoeva 228 before. I remember I saw this comment once, I think it was on a Chloe Morello video, and someone wrote, why does when a beauty guru drops something, they have to make it out to be so quirky and funny? And I'm like so conscious about that now. Anyway, I can't not mention the 230. So this is called the 230 Luxe Pencil. I now no longer use any other brush underneath my eye. Get away. Get away. This fits so perfectly underneath my eye. It is unbelievable. It is fat, it is rounded, it's pretty dense, so it packs on colour really well. I will very much, most of the time, use this to put on like 5 different shades underneath my eye. I just wipe it off on my makeup towel, apply my next shade, you know what I mean? It's great. There's 2 angled brushes in the set. One is a bit bigger, one's really small. I put both of these, and I will do now, into my what's it called, eyebrow drawer, because they are almost, well, my favourite one is the Zoeva 237, 217, 305, whatever. My favourite brow brush is the 317, and I find that the smaller one is very, very similar. It's just smaller than the 317, and it's very, very fine. So that can just go in there. And then this one, the 317, which is the dupe. I don't find it as a dupe because it's a bit fatter, but I like it for putting brow powder in. So yeah, they just stay in my brow drawer because they're great. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other big fluffy rounded brush blending brushes. You've got a nice little flat one. I often use my Zoeva one and praise it. This is the 234. Great for when you're doing cut creases. You know I pack colour on my outer corner. Oh, there's another angled brush. I forgot about that one. I never use that one. This one, the 226 smudger. Again, I will use this underneath my lash line. That was until I discovered my 230, which I definitely prefer. Still works for that, or pack on your outer corner. The 223 Petite Eye Blender. It's kind of like a M506, but a lot shorter and more dense. Again, great underneath the eye. I don't use this brush a lot, but I do sometimes use it for that. These two I never ever use, so there's 3 brushes out of the 15 that I never use, but I'm very, what's the word? Picky, we'll just say picky when it comes to my eyeshadow brushes. So I never use the 142 concealer buffer. Guess you could use this to put out your primer. It's a big chubby fat one. I just find it too big. And then the 233 cream shader. Again, you could put your concealer on or primer, cut your crease, not cut your crease, cut your brows, carve your brows, for goodness sake, with it. So yeah, out of the 15 brushes, I get a lot of use out of 12. And I think for £15, I really can't fault them. I love them. I talk about them in almost every single video, especially if I'm doing a tutorial. They come in white, pink. They're all the same thing. Don't worry, none are like less quality than the others. I've got a white set that I still really love that I've had for about 3 years. Can't recommend these brushes enough. And on that note, that's all my brushes that I'd recommend. Try and fit my new babies in there. Is there anything nicer than new brushes? I could probably sit here and give you some honourable mentions, but I honestly don't feel like I need to. I feel like I've covered all my bases, all the brushes I've mentioned. I use every single day. Couldn't live without them. Think very, very highly of them, or else I wouldn't tell you about them. I will link everything down below. Whatever ones I've been sent in PR will be marked with a little star. Also, if you use my links to buy them, I will make a commission. It really helps me out. I put one of my commission slides in recently and people seem to like that. I'll put it in here. It's always a very, very small amount, but it all adds up. So yeah, use my links if you wouldn't mind. If you do mind, just search them and do it that way. But that is all my picks. You need to let me know if there's any brushes you think I forgot to mention. Also, let me know if you've tried any brushes and you can't live without them, especially if you've got small eyes or hooded eyes, because that would be great. I've just realised there's a brush I cannot possibly not mention. There's a brush that I use to cut my crease every single time I cut my crease. It's from the Morphe Eye Obsessed set. I'll put a picture up on screen and point to it just because I can't be bothered finding it in that pot. You need to buy the whole set to get the brush because they don't sell the brush individually. However, the brush set is really good and I use the brushes quite a lot. So if you do want to cut your crease and you want a lot of precision, I can't recommend this brush enough, or this, well yeah, this brush set you will have to buy. It's 25 bucks, but you get, I can't remember, 12 brushes or something. I think I was just about to say, tell me if you've got small and hooded eyes, what tiny brushes you use and love. I do have the M507 before you recommend that. Someone recommended it to me and I really like it, but it's not a top priority to talk about. It's not a massive fave, but I do really like it. But yeah, if there's any other ones, let me know, any brand. So yeah, as always, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, it would help me out a lot if you would give it a big massive thumbs up. Also, subscribe for more content from me, more favourites videos coming your way, as well as the ones I've already done. Leave me a comment because I do try and reply to all of my comments. And of course, I want to give a massive shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me on Patreon as well as on here. I don't know why you do it. Thank you for your support in 2019. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying the live videos that we now do. Hopefully one will be up soon. I don't know when this video is going to go live, so it could be this very day. Who knows? I don't even know myself. But yeah, I really hope you're enjoying the lives. I find them a lot more fun and interactive. And if you want to become a patron, the link is in the description box and you get early access to videos, the ones I don't upload the same day at least. Patreon only videos, which are now mostly lives, but we will do some pre-filmed ones. Polls on what videos you want to see on my channel. If you can't or don't want to become a patron, please don't worry about it. Just watching me is a massive support. You don't even understand it. It's hugely great for me, honestly. And on that note, I'm going to piss off. And I hope I'll catch you on the flip side. I was going to say something else, but I can't remember. Bye!